Yeah.
Over the last 2-3 weeks, what has dominated the public discussion platforms have been about perhaps grassroots uneasiness about some of the appointments that have been made by the president. Has that reached the corridors of power? How has the president been reacting? And how are you intending to bridge that gap, that vacuum that has been created?
The president is aware of the sentiments that have been expressed. He also appreciates them. The truth is that an overwhelming majority of appointments that he's made have been people within the NDC. But there's also some space in governance for persons who may not necessarily subscribe to the NDC's ideology, but have something to offer. We cannot have a country where only partisan elements control the levers of power. There must be room for different shades of opinion, because at the end of the day, we need to build a country that is balanced in its developmental approach. So there are people who have tremendous knowledge in various sectors who may not necessarily belong to the NDC, but must be given the opportunity to contribute. And I think that has been done. One understands the sentiment of the NDC grassroots. They yearn for this government to succeed. They want to see their government do well. They want President Mahama to leave a lasting legacy. And therefore, sometimes they may become suspicious of individuals who they may not be familiar with and may doubt their intentions. But I think that it is fair that those people are given the opportunity to make their contribution so that we see exactly what they have to offer. Let me also indicate that a protest in and of itself is not a problem. That some sections of the NDC are unhappy about something their government has done or the president has done and decide to protest. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We must accommodate that within the democratic space. It is when it spills over into more chaotic and violent scenes that a problem arises. Otherwise, it is a matter that can be resolved. I think by and large, it is dying down because the people have seen that President Mahama means well. He does not seek to undermine the structures of the NDC in any way, shape, or form. And it says that he is willing to give as many people the opportunity to contribute their quota to national development.
Felix, when it festers the perception that there are people who led the front line, who also have the competence, the qualifications, and know-how within the structures of the party, but yet are not given the opportunity to serve.
There's an infinitesimal minority.
Why is that, Felix?
That will fit into the category of people who are not in the front lines. Look at our national executive, for instance. I'm beginning to worry that almost everybody of any significance in the national executive is coming into government. Yeah. Almost everybody is gone. Look at the youth front. Almost everybody in the youth front has secured a position in government. Look at the communication front. The two key people leading the communication front are in government now. Look across the country. If you look at the regional ministerial appointments, for instance, they were basically regional chairmen and regional secretaries who landed that position. The key positions in state organizations have been occupied by non-NDC people. Of course, the fundamental criteria has been competence. These are people who are highly qualified, very competent, very skilled, and have the capacity to deliver to the expectation of all Ghanaians. So I don't think that it is fair to drive a narrative that says that people who did not contribute in the trenches have leapfrogged persons who did so and have occupied positions. As I indicated, there is a need for balance in the way that we build our country. And there are certain areas requiring certain specific skill sets that someone who may not necessarily be NDC may possess. And if the person is willing to contribute meaningfully, truthfully, honestly to governance, I see no reason why they should not be given the opportunity. Even as you strive to ensure that those who were there, those who actively participated in bringing the party to power, get their due in terms of the contribution that must be made to national development. Yeah.
So the narrative is not being driven by the media.
I've not said so. As I have indicated, I understand why people would want to protest. The protest is not a problem. They have a right to do so, even if their own party is in power. It shows that democracy is maturing. And the era where every and anybody sided with any and everything that government did is over. Now, people within your party are willing to scrutinize you, are willing to hold you to account. This is a healthy development as far as I'm concerned. But I'm only explaining that if you look at the totality of appointments, an overwhelming majority of them, about 99.9% of them, have gone to NDC faithfuls.